Good morning everyone and welcome to the class. We are doing the chapter Tribals, Dikus and the Vision of a Golden Age. We have completed the discussion of this chapter and the questions which are given at the end of the this chapter. Those will be provided to you in the Microsoft assignment, answers to those questions. So today we will be discussing some extra questions from this chapter. Okay. Now we will see the questions. The first question is, what were the activities in which the tribal groups were involved in different parts of India? The question is, what were the activities in which different tribal groups were involved in different parts of India in 19th century? Okay, so as we have discussed during the class, what were the activities in which these tribal groups were involved? The first activity was jhum cultivation. So you have to write the answer that the various activities in which different tribal groups were involved in different parts of India in the 19th century are following. The first is jhum cultivation, or you can write the complete sentence. Some of the tribals were involved in jhum cultivation. Then second, some of the tribals were hunter and gatherers. Then the third is some of the tribals were herders. And the last one is some of the tribals were settled cultivators. Okay, so this is the answer to the question. Only points will be there, कौन से काम वो करते थे, ठीक है. And now we come to the next question. The question is about jhum cultivation. What is jhum cultivation? What What do you understand by jhum cultivation? So you can write the jhum cultivation. You will have to start your answer with points only, because इसमें कोई भी आपका वो नहीं होगा. But you can write हाँ, एक introductory sentence आप लिख सकते हो कि in the 19th century some of the tribals were doing jhum cultivation. Okay, in the 19th century, some of the tribals were doing jhum cultivation. And now the first point. The first point is the cultivators cut the tree tops to allow sunlight to reach the ground. The first point is the cultivators cut the tree tops to allow sunlight to reach the ground. Then second point, they burnt, B-U-R-N-T, they burnt the vegetation on the land to clear it for cultivation. Okay, now the third point, they spread the ash from the firing, which contained potash to fertilize the soil. Then the fourth point, they broadcast the seeds on the field instead of plowing the land and sowing the seeds. They broadcast the seeds on the field instead of plowing the land and sowing the seeds. Next point, once the crop was ready and harvested, they moved to another patch of land. Okay, so this is your answer. And now the next question is, what do you mean by fallow? What do you mean by fallow? So the answer is, fallow is a field. When a field, don't like fallow is a field, right? When a field left uncultivated, for a while, so that the soil recovers fertility. When a field left uncultivated for a while so that the soil recovers fertility, this process is known as fallow. Okay, and now we see the next question. The next question is about hunters and gatherers. Name the tribal community who lived in the forest of Odisha and who were the hunters and gatherers. Okay, I am writing down the question. This is the second question, this is the third question, and this is the fourth question. Name the tribal group of Odisha who were hunters and gatherers. Who were hunters and gatherers. Are you able to see it or not? I am writing it here only. Who were hunters and gatherers. Okay, so I am again reading this question. Name the tribal group of Odisha who were hunters and gatherers. The group is Khons. So you will write the answer that the Khons of Odisha were hunters and gatherers. Okay. And now we see the next question. The next question is about which flowers were required by the traders to color their cloth and leather. These are natural colors, as I told you in the class also, when we were discussing indigo, है ना, कि नेचुरल कलर्स होते हैं जो प्लांट से हमें कलर मिलता है. दीज आर नेचुरल कलर्स. तो उस समय तो नेचुरल कलर्स ही हुआ करते थे. वो होता ही नहीं था, कोई आर्टिफिशियल केमिकल वाले कलर्स तो होते ही नहीं थे. तो इस तरह से कुछ फ्लावर्स थे, है ना, कुसुम और पलास के फ्लावर थे जिनको कि नेचुरल कलर के लिए यूज़ किया जाता था, क्लोथ्स को डाई करने के लिए, लेदर को डाई करने के लिए. सो आवर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज name the flowers which were used to color the clothes and leather which were used by the traders. Okay, name the flower which were used by the traders to color their cloth and leather. The flowers are palas and kusum. Okay, your answer is the flowers of kusum and palas were used by the traders to color their cloth and leather. Okay, and now we have some other questions as well, like how explain explain the various ways the forest people got their supply of grains. So explain the various ways the forest people got their supply of grains. So the first answer is you will write the answer. The various ways the forest people got their supply of grains are following. The first is they exchanged. The first point डैश करके are following, डैश करके आप फर्स्ट पॉइंट दोगे. The first point is they exchanged goods. They exchanged goods with the villagers. They exchanged goods with the villagers. Then the second point you will write. Second point, sometimes they bought goods. Bought, B-O-U-G-H-T. Sometimes they bought goods with the small amount of money they had. Sometimes they bought goods with the small amount of money they had. Then the third point you will write, some of the tribals did odd jobs in the village. Some of the tribals did odd jobs in the village. Then next point, so many times the tribals had to wander. Many times the tribals had to wander around in search of work as laborer. Okay, so these are the various ways through which they got their supply of grains. Okay, and now we come to the next question. Now we have next question. It's a statement question. The question is the question is for the tribals, market and commerce for the tribals market and commerce often meant debt and poverty. This is a statement. You have to explain the reason why it was so. So, explain the statement. You have to explain this statement that for the tribals, market and commerce often meant poverty, often meant debt and poverty. Debt उधार हुआ, poverty गरीबी हुआ. Why it was so? इसको आप explain करना है. So your answer will start with this statement only. You will write the statement. For the tribals, market and commerce often meant debt and poverty because of the following reasons. Okay, and now you will give the first reason. First reason is the tribal groups often needed to buy and sell in order to be able to get the goods that were not produced within the locality. This is your first point, as we have discussed during the class. है ना, कैसे the tribal groups they were hunters and gatherers, so they are not able to get all the required food, all the required things by the forest, isn't it? They needed something which was not available in the forest. So for all these things they needed to buy and sell, है ना. कुछ चीज़ें उन्हें खरीदनी पड़ती थी, कुछ चीज़ें उन्हें बेचनी पड़ती थी. Okay, so because of this, what happened? They were dependent on traders and moneylenders. So your first point, you have written the first point. Tribal groups often needed to buy and sell in order to be able to get the goods that were not produced within the locality. Now the second point, because of this, they were dependent on traders and moneylenders. Okay, the second point is, because of this, they were dependent on traders and moneylenders. Okay, now the next point, third point, trader usually sold the goods at high prices. Traders usually sold the goods at high prices. And the fourth point is moneylenders. Moneylenders gave loans at a very high rate of interest. Moneylenders gave loans at a very high rate of interest. These are the reasons. These are the four reasons why whenever these tribals came in contact with the traders, the moneylenders, the market and commerce, these often led them towards poverty, towards indebtedness. These are the reasons. Okay, and now we will see the next question. The next question about the tribal group, which were the herders. In this you will see some the question. I am writing down the question first, then So the question is name some of the tribal groups who were herders. Okay, so we have discussed about this also during the discussion. You can start writing the answer in this way, like the tribal groups who were herders. Some of the tribal groups who were herders are following. The first, you can write the Van Gujars of Punjab Hills. Second, Labadibs of Andhra Pradesh. Third, Gaddis of Kullu. Fourth, Bakarwals of Kashmir. These are the different tribal groups who were the herders, who used to herd the animals in order to earn their livelihood. Okay, and now we will see about this settled cultivation. Some of the tribals took settled cultivation. So it's about, the question is name some of the tribal groups who were settled cultivators. So, who are the settled cultivators? The Santhals, the Gonds and Mundas. You can give these three names: Santhals, Gonds and Mundas. Okay, and now we have next question. The next question is about, the question is, I'm just telling you. So the question is, why were the British uncomfortable? Why were the British uncomfortable with the shifting cultivators? Why were the British uncomfortable with the shifting cultivators? We have discussed about this also. There were two reasons. So you start writing. The British were uncomfortable with the shifting cultivators because of following reasons. The first is, the British wanted a regular revenue. The British wanted a regular revenue source for the state. And it was difficult to take revenue from these shifting cultivators. First point. Now the second point. The shifting cultivators were difficult to control. The shifting cultivators were difficult to control because they were always on the move. So these are the two reasons because of which the British were uncomfortable with these shifting cultivators. Okay, and now we see the next question. Ma'am, so the next question is, what do you mean by reserved forest? So the answer is the the British classified some forest as reserve forest because they produce timber which the British wanted. Next sentence, in these forests people were not allowed to move freely. In these forests people were not allowed to move freely, practice jhum cultivation, collect fruits or hunt animals. Okay, this is all about reserved forest. And now the second question is, what do you mean by forest villages? Okay, what do you mean by forest villages? The answer is the forest department of British government. The forest department of British government established forest villages in the reserve forest to ensure a regular supply of cheap labor. Okay, and now we will see the next question. When was the revolt of Songram Sangama held? When was the revolt of Songram Sangama The answer is 1906. The revolt of Songram Sangama held in 1906 in Assam. Okay, and now we have another question. Now the next question is, who were Dikus? So Dikus were the outsiders. Following were considered as Dikus by the tribals. First, religious missionaries. Dash देखें. First point, religious missionaries. Second point, money lenders. Third point, Hindu landlords. Fourth point, the British government. Okay, so these were all considered as Dikus. Okay, now this is important question because many times people do not understand the basic thing. Okay, and now we have another question. The question is, what was the significant what was the significance of Birsa movement? So we will write the significance of Birsa movement was in two ways. First point आपका होगा, it forced the colonial government to introduce laws so that the land of the tribals could not be taken over by Dikkus. And the second is, it showed once again that the tribal people had the capacity to protest against injustice and exploitation. So these are the 2 points which you are supposed to write in the answer. So this is all. We have completed the chapter, and now in the next class we will start geography, a new chapter in geography.